Hello and welcome to Blythe Business News. Today I'm joined by Don Turvey. Don is Chief Executive of Cornish Metals, which is developing the South Crofty tin mine in Cornwall. The company is listed on both the AIM market in London and the TSXV market in Toronto in Canada, with a symbol of CUSN and a market capitalisation of around £102 million sterling. Don, you recently announced the upgraded preliminary economic assessment. Can you explain to us what that means, what's the changes and what does it mean for the company?
Yes, Don, thank you for the opportunity. I mean, it's been quite an eventful year, the last 12 months I've been with the company now. We basically progressed the project further de-risking it. We've done a lot of work around shaft refurbishment. We've taken it down to around 350 meters. On the back of that, we've obviously advanced other aspects of the project. We did a total review of the capital. And on the back of that, we basically issued an updated PEA, which shows that the project is very robust from an economic perspective, still giving us an NPV of £180 million with a 20% IRR, very, very strong cash flow, EBITDA of about £70 million per annum. And it again shows just the value of that project and the robustness of that asset.
Now, just stepping the numbers, the finances are clearly very, very important. Just to step away from the numbers for a moment, how does this PEA differ from the previous one and what's driven those changes?
Well, the key changes, like I said, was a total review of the project. There was some further work being done, engineering work on various aspects of the project. And what we now find is something that a lot more confidence in the numbers. There was a review by Worley on the capital. There was no longer factoring involved, so it was material takeoffs, a lot more granular details. We did a lot of work on the schedule, a lot more detail, work breakdown structure, and so much so that's why we put out earlier on the updated timelines to production.
Now, I think I'm right, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think this PEA also gives you opportunity for significant upside potential from the resource and perhaps expanding the resource. Approaching that opportunity, what gives you confidence that you can actually extend? I think it's a 14-year mine life at the moment.
That's correct.
What gives you confidence you can extend that mine life?
Well, late last year, we also announced an exploration target to show that not only can we extend the mine life by doubling it or even tripling it. And that what we did was we looked at every one of these loads and we realized all of them are on strike or open at strike on our resource permission area and also at depth. And we managed to increase the potential extractable resource by doubling it or even tripling it. And what that gives you, Tim, is the opportunity, that from year 2 to 6, it's really the peak of production years at the tin level, is we could extend that up to 20 years.
Okay. Now, South Crofty Tin Mine, based in Cornwall, you're moving ever closer to production. As you progress towards production, what impact is South Crofty going to have locally and nationally in terms of jobs? And I guess also, you're going to be producing tin in the UK. What does that do for UK supply chains?
Well, I think a number of things. I mean, there's a huge benefit, obviously, to the local economy. We currently have about 80 people on site, 40 of them are miners, people that we trained. Some of them were, jobs that were totally unrelated to mining, and we've trained people up, and now they're very, very efficient. They've been working in the shaft on a 24/7 basis for the last year. So they're becoming a lot more skilled in what they do. So from that 80, the plan is to grow up to over 300 people that we can employ. I mean, and again, that is going to have a huge impact on people coming into the area, but employing people from the area. And I think that's a huge benefit. But on top of that, You know, an underground mine like this, Tim, uses a lot of material and items to operate. Roughly about 50,000 items just to keep an underground mine running. And those items need to come from as close as possible. We cannot keep that all in a stock. We need to get it from elsewhere. We need services. And this is an ideal opportunity for people to set up shop close to the mine, equipment suppliers, and people providing services to get as close as possible to the site. And that again will have another impact on potential job creation of about 1,000 people, we estimate.
Another 1,000 people? Wow.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, observers get very excited about things like PEA, and we see them as milestones. You're a miner, you're developing. I know it's continuous growth, continuous development. So before you go, let me just ask you this. Post the PEA now, what should investors, what should viewers be looking out for in terms of what's coming next out of South Crofty, what's coming next out of Cornish Metals?
Well, obviously we're going to keep our investors up to date on how we're progressing with our shaft development. We just entered into one of the chambers that we're refurbishing for a pump station. And what is amazing about that, because that pump station was developed in the 50s, 80 years later, 30 years underwater, it's still intact. And that's exactly what we're planning, hoping to find below 350 as we take it down right to the bottom of the shaft, which is about 770 meters. So progression on that. And then all the other parts, we've recently ordered the long lead items like the winders from a local company in the UK called The Hall. So they're busy manufacturing 2 major winders for us. These are big machines, 1.2 megawatt machines. So they're quite large. And they're busy with that, and they've done the engineering, and they're busy with the manufacturing. We're currently building a store and workshop facility on a place what we call Bartels Foundry, with funding from the Shared Prosperity Fund, £4.2 million that they put in, and we're very grateful for that. And again, that's just state the support that we have, not only from local government, but also from national government when NWF came in. So a lot of those activities as we go along, and we're upgrading some of the existing infrastructure on site. We're building a mine dry for all our miners, and that basically is completed now. We're upgrading offices, we're upgrading areas. We started with the plant excavation. So there's a lot going on, Tim, and I think as we go along, we'll obviously update the market on any of these developments. And
Don, thanks for that. Come back, keep us informed. Thanks for joining us today. That was Don Turvey, Chief Executive of Cornish Metals, giving us a very good explanation of the changes in the most recent preliminary economic assessment and the exciting potential at the South Crofty Tin Mine in Cornwall. That's it for this edition of Blythe Business News. Thanks for watching.